Think the Chinese have already taken over the SUV market? Think again, because in 2026, Japan is striking back with 4 absolute beasts that are still setting the standard. We're not talking about empty promises or gimmicky oversized screens here. We're talking about real reliability, proven technology, and designs that shatter every stereotype you thought you knew. Stick around because what you're about to see today aren't just SUVs. These are the Japanese powerhouses that are changing the game in 2026, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Welcome to Motorrad, where we cut through the hype and give you the real deal. Let's jump right in with the most conservative option on our list, but don't let that fool you. The Subaru Forester 2026 maintains its DNA of safety and all-wheel drive prowess, but it's packing some serious surprises under that familiar skin. The Forester 2026 doesn't reinvent itself, but it updates where it matters most. From the outside, it keeps that boxy look with clean lines and zero pretensions. This is a design that doesn't try to impress you at a stoplight, but it absolutely screams durability and capability. Now, if you want the more aggressive look, the wilderness version is where things get interesting. We're talking serious plastic cladding, Yokohama Geolandar tires that mean business, skid plates that can actually take a beating, and ground clearance that jumps to 9.3 inches. The other trims stick with a still respectable 8.7 inches. This is a Subaru that doesn't shout modern from the rooftops, but it's clearly ready for whatever road or lack of road you throw at it. Let's talk dimensions. You're looking at 183.5 inches in length, 71.7 inches wide, and 68.1 inches tall. It's slightly wider than the previous generation, and notably taller if you go for that wilderness trim. But here's the thing, this isn't about looking big, it's about being functional. And inside, that's where the Forester really flexes. Space, that's what you feel the moment you open the door. And in a compact SUV, that's saying something serious. 5 people fit comfortably with genuinely good headroom and legroom. Even in that second row where most SUVs make you feel like you're in economy class on a budget airline, the Forester gives you room to breathe. The panoramic sunroof adds light and openness that makes the cabin feel even more spacious. The seats now have better lumbar support and improved shoulder bolstering, which means those long road trips won't leave you feeling like you've been in a wrestling match. From the premium trim up, the material quality takes a noticeable jump. And in the Sport Limited, you get synthetic leather, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and brushed metal details throughout. Is it luxury? No. Is it comfortable? Functional luxury? Absolutely. It's the kind of cabin where everything feels substantial, where switches click with precision, where you're not worried about things rattling apart after 6 months. But let's get to where the Forester really shows off. The cargo area. We're talking 31.1 cubic feet with those rear seats up, and an absolutely massive 76.1 cubic feet when you fold them down. That's better than most of its rivals, and the numbers don't lie. The cargo opening is wide and low, which makes loading everything from mountain bikes to grocery hauls or camping gear incredibly easy. If you're into outdoor activities, this space isn't just useful, it's essential. The power liftgate with hands-free opening comes standard from the Sport trim up, and honestly, once you've had it, you can't go back. Now, connectivity. Subaru improved what needed improving. From the premium trim, you get an 11.6-inch vertical touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay, an Android Auto, a wireless charger, and a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster in the top trims. The Harman Kardon sound system with 11 speakers is available in the Sport Hybrid and Touring models, and it's legitimately impressive. But here's the honest truth. The graphic interface still looks a bit dated compared to what Hyundai or even Toyota are offering. It works well, but it's not going to wow you visually. Let's talk powertrains because this is where Subaru plays it safe, and depending on your perspective, that's either brilliant or frustrating. The base engine is a 2.5-litre naturally aspirated boxer, delivering 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a CVT transmission and permanent all-wheel drive. Is it fast? No. Is it exciting? Not particularly. But does it fall short in daily use? Absolutely not. 0 to 60 happens in about 8.3 seconds. It's competent, smooth, and predictable. The hybrid version bumps things up to 194 horsepower thanks to two electric motors working with that same thermal engine. It hits 60 in 8.1 seconds. You notice it's smoother, quieter, and has better torque delivery in city driving. On the highway, the difference isn't as dramatic, but that refinement is definitely there. This isn't a revolutionary system, but it elevates the overall driving experience in meaningful ways. And if you like getting off the pavement, the wilderness version is where things get really interesting. It's the only one in its segment that can tow up to 3,500 pounds. That's double what many other compact SUVs can handle. It has a reinforced differential, special modes for snow, deep mud, steep descents, and that raised suspension gives you better approach and departure angles. Is it a hardcore off-roader? No, but it's significantly more capable than average. Fuel economy? The standard model offers between 33 to 35 mpg combined depending on the trim. The hybrid jumps to about 36 mpg in the city and 35 on the highway. Nothing earth-shattering, but it's coherent considering the weight, permanent all-wheel drive, and transmission type. In real-world conditions, the hybrid saves a bit more, especially during urban commutes with moderate traffic. Here's where many people hesitate. The powertrain options. There's no turbo, no plug-in hybrids, just two choices: naturally aspirated gas or traditional hybrid, both with the same CVT. Subaru is playing it safe, and that can be positive or negative depending on your expectations. If you want more power or powertrain variety, Mazda and Toyota offer more options. Safety? No complaints whatsoever. The EyeSight system comes standard across all trims. Automatic emergency braking, lane centering, cross-traffic alert, and adaptive cruise control. It earned 5 stars in IIHS crash tests and the top Safety Pick Plus recognition. Subaru maintains its focus on protection and reliability, and that's worth its weight in gold. Estimated pricing? The base starts around $33,000. The premium hits $35,000. The Sport, which we'd recommend, runs about $37,000. The Wilderness climbs to $39,000, and the Touring reaches $43,000. In hybrid form, pricing starts at $38,000 and tops out at $44,700. Is it worth what it costs? In many ways, yes. But if you compare it to a Sportage or Tucson hybrid, you'll notice Subaru offers less warranty coverage and no complimentary maintenance. Speaking of warranty, you get just 3 years or 36,000 miles of basic coverage and 5 years or 60,000 miles for the powertrain. Not bad, but clearly below what Hyundai, Kia, or Toyota offer. Parts and labor costs have improved in North America, but they're still pricier than Nissan or Chevrolet. That's something to consider. Clear conclusion: the Forester 2026 isn't a revolution, but it's a coherent evolution. If you value functionality, space, genuine all-wheel drive, and proven safety, you've got a solid option here. It's not fast, it's not luxurious, it's not cutting-edge in design, but it delivers where it truly matters. The hybrid gives you an additional edge in refinement and efficiency, but don't expect miracles. Now the decision is yours. Drop a comment and tell me if you'd go for the hybrid Forester, prefer the classic version, or think it's already looking dated compared to its rivals. Stepping up the game, we have the Honda CR-V 2026 with an improved hybrid system and more interior space. But it comes with a twist that's worth paying attention to. Let's start with the design. The CR-V Hybrid 2026 maintains that understated elegance that's characterized this model for years. It measures 184.8 inches long, 73.2 inches wide, and 66.1 inches tall, with a wheelbase of 106.3 inches. The Sport trim differentiates itself with black details, all-terrain tires, and a more robust grille with a faux skid plate. These are subtle changes from the 2025 model, but they give it more character. Its weight hovers around 3,915 pounds, pretty well balanced for a hybrid SUV. Inside, the story improves dramatically. The interior design is comfortable, spacious, and exceptionally well executed. It seats 5 real adults with excellent space, both front and rear. The dashboard maintains logical distribution without exaggerated screens or unnecessary buttons cluttering the space. In the sport, touring, and trail sport trims, you get leather finishes, aluminum details, and even embroidered logos. The material quality is palpable, especially in the climate controls, steering wheel, and seats. This isn't fake premium. This is the real deal. Cargo space is also brilliantly resolved. With the rear seats up, you're looking at 36.3 cubic feet of capacity. Fold them down, and you get a total of 76.5 cubic feet. That's one of the best figures in the segment. The rear hatch can be power-operated depending on the trim, and the cargo floor is flat, making it easy to load large items. Everything about the cargo area feels thoughtfully designed for actual use, not just for brochure specs. Technology doesn't disappoint either. All trims include a 9-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus wireless charging. Upper trims add a 10.2-inch digital panel, Bose audio in the sport touring, and even integrated Google navigation. There are also USB-C ports for all rows and quick Bluetooth connectivity. It's tech that works seamlessly without feeling forced or complicated. The heart of this SUV is a 2.0-litre Atkinson cycle engine combined with 2 electric motors. Together, they deliver 204 horsepower and 247 Newton-meters of torque. It's not an explosive powertrain, but it's incredibly smooth, quiet, and efficient. The transmission is direct drive without simulated shifts. The system works with a 1.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery, ideal for efficient hybrid use without complications. In real-world testing, acceleration from 0 to 60 happens in 7.9 seconds with the Sport Touring version. Nothing sporty, but quite nimble for a family hybrid SUV. It actually improves on the non-hybrid CR-V's time, which takes 8.1 seconds in the same test. The weak point? Towing. The CR-V hybrid can pull up to 1,000 pounds with the towing package, while the gasoline version reaches 1,500 pounds. If you need an SUV for frequent towing, this isn't ideal, but for urban use, road trips, and light cargo, it delivers without issue. Fuel economy. The front-wheel drive version delivers 40 mpg combined, and the all-wheel drive achieves about 37 mpg combined. In the city, you can reach up to 42 mpg if you drive smoothly. On the highway at steady speeds, you're looking at between 35 to 38 mpg. These are excellent figures that position it as one of the most efficient SUVs on the market without being a plug-in. Powertrain options are straightforward. You get front-wheel drive in the Sport and Sport Touring versions, and all-wheel drive in the Trail Sport and Sport Touring AWD. All share the same hybrid powertrain. There's no turbo engine or plug-in hybrid options, but you do get advanced traction control in AWD models, ideal for slippery surfaces or light mud. Safety comes very complete from the base version. It includes autonomous braking, collision alert, lane keeping, blind spot monitoring, and adaptive cruise control. Upper trims add parking sensors and a 360-degree camera. In IIHS testing, it maintains maximum scores. This is a vehicle designed to protect occupants without unnecessary electronic complications. Consumer Reports gives it a 10 out of 10 in projected reliability, and that's saying a lot. Honda has managed to make this hybrid system function with low maintenance and almost no complaints. It even surpasses Toyota in year-over-year consistency. If you're looking for an SUV without drama or surprises, this is a safe bet. Pricing in the United States ranges from $37,000 for the Sport version, $40,100 for the Sport Touring front-wheel drive, $4,200 for the Trail Sport, and $43,650 for the Sport Touring all-wheel drive. It's not cheap, but it comes pretty well equipped from the start. And if you choose the right trim, you can avoid paying for unnecessary luxuries. Warranty offers 3 years or 36,000 miles for the complete vehicle and 5 years or 60,000 miles for the powertrain. Plus, it includes 1 year or 12,000 miles of complimentary maintenance, something rivals like Ford or Kia don't offer without additional cost. Regarding parts and labor, is it an advantage to have a Honda? Its service network is global and reliable. Parts arrive quickly, there are trained mechanics everywhere, and you don't depend on closed software like with Chinese or premium brands. It's not the cheapest to maintain, but it won't break your bank either. The Honda CR-V Hybrid 2026 isn't made to grab attention with lights or giant screens. It's made to last, perform, and accompany you problem-free for years. It's an honest, efficient SUV with genuine resale value. If you're looking for real reliability, efficiency without plugs, and useful technology, this is one of the best purchases of the year. But if you want something sportier, flashier, or with more towing capacity, there are other options. The decision is yours. I'm just giving you the facts without the makeup. And if you've made it this far, you already know what's up. An honest, efficient SUV without useless ornaments. Now things change dramatically. The Mazda CX-5 2026 dazzles with elegant design, premium finishes, and driving dynamics that no Japanese rival can match in this segment. The new Mazda CX-5 2026 looks more imposing than ever. At first glance, it seems like a subtle evolution, but the changes run deep. The grille is wider, the headlights are elongated with dual LED projectors, and the profile shows a flatter, more elevated hood. The body now measures 184.6 inches long, 74 inches wide, and 66.9 inches tall. The wheelbase increased to 111 inches. Weight hovers around 3,638 pounds. Compared to the 2025 model, this CX-5 is more robust, more stable, and better prepared for long trips, family duties, and comfort. And here's a detail many noticed. The rear no longer carries just the logo, but spells out the full Mazda name. Simple, direct, proud. The design aligns with the visual language of the CX-50 and CX-90, so it no longer looks like an old SUV in disguise. This one has presence. Real presence. Inside, the design maintains Mazda's essence. Clean, minimalist, with a feeling of genuine luxury. Soft touch materials, solid finishes, and even a new steering wheel with the brand name instead of the traditional logo. It offers 5 comfortable seats, and the seats now have a slimmer design but with real lumbar support. In upper trims, they can be heated front and rear. Even second-row passengers gained legroom and headroom, and that's no small thing. The doors open almost 90 degrees, and that makes a difference when getting in, installing a child seat, or traveling with adults in back. Plus, there are dual USB-C ports for rear passengers and individual air vents. Mazda paid attention to the details that matter. Here's good news. The trunk grows to 20.6 cubic feet with all 5 seats in use and up to 71.2 cubic feet if you fold the rear seats. The cargo opening is lower, the rear aperture is higher, and the floor is better designed. Mazda also improved the rigidity of the hatch, which reduces vibrations and makes closing the trunk easier, even with one hand. If you use the car for travel, hauling bikes, tools, or whatever, this new design will make your life easier. You can tell they thought about real-world use. Mazda took a big leap in technology. Standard, you get a 12.9-inch screen, but if you want it full spec, you can order the 15.6-inch version. We're no longer talking about a budget SUV, but one that competes toe-to-toe with premium brands. Everything runs on Google Automotive Services, which means you'll have Google Maps, Google Assistant, YouTube Music, and more without depending on your phone. And of course, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The bad news, there are no longer physical buttons for climate control. Everything is touch-based or voice-commanded. The center rotary dial that many loved also disappears. Mazda is betting on all digital for better or worse. What it does retain is the traditional gear shifter, and that's appreciated. No weird little buttons like in Ford or Hyundai. Let's get to what matters, the engine. The launch version uses a 2.5-litre naturally aspirated engine with 187 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel or all-wheel drive, 6-speed automatic transmission. The power is adequate. The reliability is proven. This engine won't break records, but it's stable, economical, and easy to maintain. 0 to 60 happens in 10.5 seconds. It's not a bullet, but it responds well for city and highway use. The 24-volt mild hybrid system helps with starting and fuel consumption, though it's not a full hybrid. It's available in 2026 and developed 100% within Mazda, without depending on Toyota like the CX-50 does. For 2027, a real hybrid is coming. For fuel economy, Mazda declares 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers in the front-wheel drive version. That's equivalent to about 32 mpg combined. It's not the most frugal, but it's not thirsty either. The real hybrid system coming next year should lower that figure substantially. For towing, the new CX-5 can pull up to 2,200 pounds, enough for a small trailer, boat, or light cargo. It's not an SUV for heavy work, but it defends itself if you need occasional hauling. For safety, Mazda did it right. Automatic braking, 360 sensors, adaptive cruise control, lane assist, adaptive headlights, all of that comes from mid-level trims up, and of course, reinforced structure and airbags everywhere. Consumer Reports ranks it as one of the most reliable SUVs in the segment year after year. This new generation maintains that reputation with improvements in electronics, suspension and steering. On the highway, it's stable. In the city, it's agile. Mazda adjusted the shock absorbers, stabilizer bars and steering to achieve a balance between comfort and precision. And you notice it. This is an SUV that actually feels connected to the road, that rewards you for being a driver, not just an operator. Pricing starts from $30,000 and scales up to $40,000 for all-wheel drive versions with full equipment. There will be 4 equipment levels in North America. It'll be available from December 2025, and reservations can already be made in some areas. Is it worth it? Look, for that price, there are Chinese options with more screens, sure. But in reliability, driving dynamics, design and warranty, the Mazda CX-5 2026 runs circles around them. The official warranty is 5 years or 60,000 miles depending on the market. Mazda has good parts coverage in North America with an established dealer network. Labor is reasonable, and maintenance intervals aren't as frequent as Korean brands. Plus, original parts don't cost a fortune. If you want an SUV that won't fail you after 2 years, this is a serious candidate. Is the Mazda CX-5 2026 worth it? Yes. If you're looking for sophisticated design, real quality, excellent handling, and useful technology without jumping to a BMW or Audi, this Mazda will deliver. It's not the fastest, it's not the cheapest, but it's one of the most complete and balanced you'll find in the segment. But the queen remains the Toyota RAV4 2026. The best-selling SUV on the planet gets more hybrid options, more efficiency, and more equipment. Stick around, because in 2026, it's still number 1, and there are good reasons why. The RAV4 2026 maintains that rugged look that made it famous, but now it's noticeably more refined. The front adopts a lower, more horizontal style with a more discreet grille and C-shaped LED headlights, following Toyota's new design language. It looks more modern without becoming extravagant. From the side, the wheel arches remain well defined, but what changes most is the rear. Now the tailgate is more vertical, and the tail lights extend to the corners with a pretty distinctive light signature. Do you like it or not? That's a matter of taste. In dimensions, it measures 183.1 inches long, 72 inches wide, and 66.5 inches tall. It didn't grow much compared to the 2025 model, but interior space was optimized better. In fact, the B-pillar is now thicker, and that improves habitability in the second row. We're not talking about a revolution, but a clear and logical evolution. Inside, the story changes quite a bit. The dashboard maintains physical buttons. Thank you, Toyota. Many appreciate that. But now there are 2 large screens dominating the environment. A 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and a 12.9-inch multimedia system screen. All this with new software called Arene, which greatly improves response speed, allows over-the-air updates, and is designed to last several years without becoming obsolete. It has 5 well-utilized seats with better quality materials across all versions. The XSE Sport and Limited versions come with synthetic leather upholstery, contrast stitching, and finishes that genuinely elevate the level. Overall, it feels more premium than before without being luxurious. Sound insulation also improved, which is especially noticeable on the highway. The trunk has a capacity of 20.5 cubic feet in conventional hybrid versions. In plug-in versions, volume reduces slightly due to the battery, but it's still sufficient for family trips or outdoor activities. It's not the biggest in its class, but it's practical and usable. Let's talk technology. The RAV4 2026 comes loaded. It has wireless integration with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, voice assistant, navigation with real-time information, and compatibility with the My Toyota app. From your phone, you can activate climate control, check vehicle status, or even schedule charging if you have the plug-in version. The digital experience is well resolved and doesn't feel forced. For powertrains, there are two main paths: conventional hybrid and plug-in hybrid. The traditional hybrid delivers 219 horsepower in front-wheel drive, or 227 with all-wheel drive. The plug-in is more aggressive. You get 304 horsepower in the standard version and up to 306 horsepower in the all-wheel drive version. This latter accelerates from 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, which enters sporty territory for a family SUV. Estimated torque is around 221 pound-feet in normal hybrid versions and about 295 pound-feet in the plug-in. Throttle response is immediate, especially in electric mode. Speaking of which, the electric range in the plug-in can reach up to 42 miles on the EPA cycle, which covers more than 80% of most users' urban commutes. Plus, it accepts fast charging up to 50 kilowatts that fills you from 10 to 80% in about half an hour. And with its new 6.6 kilowatt AC charger, in about 3 hours, you have the battery at 100%. It's a well-balanced system for those seeking efficiency without sacrificing power. The RAV4 also offers very differentiated versions depending on user profile. If you want something elegant and understated, the Limited has chrome details, a mesh-type grille, and 20-inch wheels. If you prefer something rugged, the Woodland gives you all-terrain tires, roof rails, and rubber floor mats. But if you want a bit of sportiness without reaching a GR Corolla level, the XSE Sport is ideal. It has recalibrated suspension, more precise steering, brakes with red calipers, and metal pedals. Aesthetically, you notice the difference, and mechanically too. For safety, Toyota didn't skimp. The Toyota Safety Sense 4.0 package comes standard on all versions. It includes pre-collision system with pedestrian and cyclist detection, lane keeping, adaptive cruise control, automatic high beams, front cross traffic alert, and lane change assist. There's also a 360-degree camera, sensors, and fatigue alert. It's pretty comprehensive equipment. Consumer Reports gives the RAV4 a score of 83 out of 100 in reliability. It remains one of the most recommended SUVs for those seeking a durable vehicle with good fuel economy and without mechanical headaches. It's not the most exciting, but it's one of the most balanced. For pricing, estimates for the United States are as follows: hybrid base from $33,000, Limited between $38,000 and $40,000, XSE Sport around $41,000, and plug-in from $45,000 to $49,000 depending on version and drivetrain. In other markets, those values can increase between 20 and 40% depending on the country. For warranty, Toyota continues betting strong: 8 years or 100,000 miles for the hybrid system and 10 years or 150,000 miles for the battery. And regarding parts and labor, the RAV4 has a solid network throughout North America. You'll find parts, trained technicians, and service centers without having to cross half the city, and that's worth gold in daily life. So, is the RAV4 worth it in 2026? The short answer: yes, if you want efficiency, reliability, and technology. But if you're looking for pure sportiness or the best price for equipment, there are options also worth looking at. The Mazda CX-5 remains more fun to drive. The Subaru Forester Wilderness has better off-road capability, and some Chinese brands already offer more for less. But the RAV4 didn't come to compete at extremes. It came to dominate the center, to offer a balance that few achieve: performance, space, safety, connectivity, and efficiency. It's not perfect, but it's a safe bet, and that's why it keeps selling like hotcakes. So there's the ranking of the 2026 Japanese contenders: the Forester at the start, then the CR-V, followed by the CX-5, and at the top, the RAV4 as number 1. Do you agree with this order, Or would you make a change? Drop it in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to Motor Rag, and turn on notifications because what's coming next is going to put more than a few brands on notice. This is just the beginning, and 2026 is shaping up to be one hell of a year for SUV buyers who know what they're looking for. See you in the next one.